38 minutes after, it was an especially cruel murder. In July 1989 in Albuquerque, New Mexico, a young woman was gunned down behind the wheel of her car. Her determined family still is seeking the killer, and her mother has written a book about their search. It is called Who Killed My Daughter? In a minute, we will hear from the mother, but first, some background on the story from reporter Larry Barker of KOAT Television in Albuquerque.
18-year-old Caitlin Arquette was driving home late on a summer night in 1989 when someone shot her twice in the head. The murder on a mostly deserted Albuquerque street had the markings of a random drive-by shooting. For months, police detectives sought elusive clues in the teenager's murder. They had no weapon, no motive, and no suspect. Family members publicly accused police of inaction. 6 months after the murder, a major break in the case. An informant names 2 suspects. Other witnesses also come forward. Police finally get murder indictments in the case, but that case crumbled when those witnesses later changed their stories.
Witnesses, whether out of fear, whether out of some other motivation, just told us that what they had originally told us did not happen.
The 2 suspects are released. The Arquette family now accuses officers of bungling the case. Caitlin's mother claims leads were not followed, including one alleging the involvement of a Vietnamese gang.
That was extensively looked into. We were aware of that soon after the homicide occurred. We could find no tie to the homicide in any Vietnamese gang.
It's been nearly 3 years since the Arquette murder, and technically the 800-page case file is still open. It is unlikely, however, there will ever be another arrest. Detectives say they know who killed Caitlin, but without reliable witnesses, it's a case that will not hold up in court.
Did the police department blow the investigation? Did they blow the case?
No. This case was victimized by the witnesses in the case.
What kind of job did your people do on the Caitlin Arquette murder investigation?
I think our people did an excellent job.
I have seen other parents who have suffered the worst pain imaginable, a child who has been killed, and they cannot explain it. They have no answers. They have no way to close it out. They need to blame someone, and they typically will blame the system, and the system sometimes has to accept that blame because of its limitations. But there's nothing the system can do to ease that pain.
And Caitlin's mother will join us in just a minute to tell us more about her hunt for her daughter's murder. Score! 43 minutes after we just heard about the murder of Caitlin Arquette, joining us now is her mother, Lois Duncan, who is also a well-known author of books for young people. Nice to have you here.
Thank you for having me.
First of all, why don't you just give me your response to what you just heard?
Well, I think when people in authority are back to the wall, it's just very common for them to be very defensive about it, and that's understandable. Bob Schwartz, as far as I know, is a very ethical man, but he, being in the position he is as district attorney, all he had to go on was what was in the report. And I think there were things that Bob Schwartz wasn't aware of.
Now, we'll get into some of those things, but I just wonder how this book came about. As I understand it, you kept notes on a daily basis of everything that was going on, right?
Yes, I'm a journalist. I taught at the University of New Mexico Journalism Department, and it's just natural for me to take notes. And during that particular time, when you're in shock, you just know you might forget something or misread something, so I was trying to document everything.
What do you hope will come out of doing this book?
I hope we have somebody come out of the woodwork who can give us the information we need.
So this is more than a cathartic
Oh, Lord, yes.
exercise.
This is a final last gasp to try to bring people out.
The police said it was a random drive-by shooting. You completely disagree with that. What have you found out since your daughter's death that makes you think otherwise?
Well, right after Kate's death, a girlfriend gave us some information that we later followed up on. She said that Kate had told her that her Vietnamese boyfriend and many of his friends were involved in a car wreck scam where they would be imported to Orange County, California by a Vietnamese paralegal. And they would then rent cars, insure them to the hilt, deliberately run into other cars that were filled with Vietnamese gang members who would go to Vietnamese hospitals, be treated by Vietnamese doctors, all covered by insurance. And these young men were being imported, and they'd get paid, and they'd come back.
So you thought she might have known about it?
Oh, I know it's been proven. She not only knew about it, she went out there once, witnessed it, met the paralegal, and she was breaking up with the boyfriend at the time of her death. We feel she was going to blow the whistle on this.
You found this out from a girlfriend. You even contacted some psychics, I know, who gave you all, and everything seemed to pan out that they told you.
Everything panned out. We got the accident reports. And Kate had run through her bank account a check written by the paralegal. And so we got that check, concrete proof, signed by Bautron in Orange County. And the police never even wanted to see the check.
So you feel that they've not followed up on a lot of possible leads that could lead them somewhere?
I think that they took the easy way out. And I'm not saying in this that the men they arrested might not have been the trigger men. I'm just saying that we are very sure, after all the things we found out, that it was not a random shooting. Kate was shot because she was going to talk.
There's no solution to this. How do you deal with that?
It's hard. But we're dealing with it as best we can by trying to track things down on our own that the police did not want to look into because it would mess up the random shooting theory. And these men might have shot her, but they might be hired hitmen.
You have 4 other children. Caitlin was the youngest, right?
Kate was the baby, yes.
Yeah. Well, what's next for you? Are you going to get back to be able to continue on with all your other writing and just kind of take you over?
It's like we need a closure, Joan.
Yeah.
We're all of us caught in limbo, waiting for it to be done. And we feel that there's more to be followed up on. There are people out there who know, people who can just, all we need is one person.
Yeah. It must be hard to find out after the death of a child some of these things that maybe you would rather not have known, you know, that she knew about this illegal activity and didn't say anything about it.
That's true.
Yeah.
And at the same time, we want the truth. Kate, to us, was too important just to go down as a random shooting when we firmly believe it wasn't a random shooting. She's worth the truth.
Well, sometimes writing about it like this and keeping the issue going, we'll finally find the answer in the end.
That's what we hope.
Good luck to you, Lois Duncan.
Thank you.
47 minutes after, and Good Morning America continues in just a moment.